SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Are you a business owner looking for help with HR benefits and payroll? MWG Employer Services offers a wide range of services and can create a custom plan that fits your needs and budget.
I was so overwhelmed with HR stuff. MWG Employer Services took all the stress out of it and even set up my payroll. I couldn't be happier. MWG
Employer Services is here to help you succeed. Call us today at 601-206-7966 or go to MWGEmployerServices.com.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome in on a baseball Friday. Wait a minute, it's Thursday, but baseball nonetheless. Sports Talk Mississippi. One game will start during the show, so we'll get to do the whole live update thing for a couple of segments coming up later on. But yeah, baseball coming up here in the state of Mississippi, sort of. Even though the teams are on the road, baseball's coming up here in the state of Mississippi. We'll talk about that. We've also got a fun interview coming up here in about 30 minutes. If you're a Southern Miss fan, you have had a decade of daily Southern Miss coverage from the Eagle Hour. Yes, a full decade. They celebrated that anniversary today, so we'll talk to one of the hosts about that. Kendall Rogers is going to join us coming up in a little bit. Greg Byrne goes on record. Greg Byrne, the AD at Alabama, goes on record and says, hey, guys, honestly, the SEC championship, kind of dumb. We'll give you the quotes and more on this Thursday, technically Thursday, but it is Friday for us. We will be off tomorrow. Just point of order. Best of show tomorrow. We will be off tomorrow.
Point of parliamentary procedure.
So if you're tuning in and we're previewing series after games happened, it's because we are off tomorrow. But I'm Michael Borkey. He's Brian Hadad, and we are so glad that you are here. We got a lot of stuff to get to.
It's a best of show. It really should just be the Monday after the Egg Bowl where Kiffin left. That's our best show. That's the one they need to air tomorrow.
Was it that? So it was.
It's a Monday.
All that went down that weekend.
Yeah. That's what we need to air tomorrow. There you go. For the best weekend, spend it at Pearl River Resort. Play some golf. Play some games. Eat some great food. Enjoy live entertainment. It's all right there for you at Pearl River Resort. Book your stay now at pearlriverresort.com. C-Spire text line open to you at 601-879-4395. Right now at C-Spire, new and current customers can get a free phone, a free watch, a free tablet, plus 100 gigs of data for just $90. You want more details? Visit cspire.com today. C-Spire, inspired by you. Before we start, we have a correction from yesterday.
What happened?
We got April fooled, I believe. Jonathan, the oldest tortoise, still alive.
Oh, yes.
He's still with us.
All right.
Let's go.
And we also, we've learned.
I had 3 different people reach out to me. They're like, hey, he's still with the tortoise.
What a lame rear-end April Fool's joke. Of all the dumb ones, hey, this old turtle died is the dumbest one. Come on, guys.
Well, you know what it is, though? It's they want clicks, they want likes, they want retweets, so they just, they don't care. These are people who are cut from the same cloth as Ron Polk has cancer on Facebook. Like, it's just they don't have a soul. They are losers. They're the worst people on earth, and I hate them.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. There's a lot of time to talk about baseball, but I do think our first text of the day is something that we need to get to. Mississippi State made an announcement today. There's a new platform that they're calling independent, but for all, I guess for NIL Go purposes, it has to be independent. But it's not really independent. It's a new platform. Hey, Dad, what is it? Why does it matter? Just explain to the people what was announced today.
Right. So this is a platform called State 1878. Now, it's part of a network of websites. Alabama and Georgia also are on this network. And it acts as it's not a collective per se, but it does work in the NIL sphere. So basically what's going on is you're going to see a lot of player-driven content, columns, like kind of like, you know what the Players Tribune is, right? So it's kind of like that. There'll be interviews. There will be sponsored events where you show up and, hey, these players are there and you can get pictures and autographs. There's going to be one tonight at Dudy Noble Field it's like the inaugural one, right? And the players can receive NIL for this.
So it sounds like to me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, because you have the NIL Go thing. What is that? It's the right. service that approves or denies NIL deals. And right. I don't know, Hadad, if you talk to people, there is a frustration nationally.
Very, very big frustration.
And they're going to get sued into oblivion, but there's always going to be some level of, okay, this is like a legitimate thing. The NFL even does that. Like Arthur Blank can't have Home Depot sponsoring Falcons players. Like he can't do that. So there will always be in college sports some level of clearinghouse approving or denying certain deals that exist in the NFL that will exist in college sports forever. This, the way I'm reading it and hearing it, provides the clearance to get players paid without fear of
correct because
deals getting denied.
It is a quid pro quo kind of thing. It's going to be, we paid them, but they did this interview.
Yes. They
did this appearance. They did this whatever. And so this is kind of where State wants to funnel. I think, I haven't gotten a clear answer on, like if you're a member of State Excellence, I know if you're a Bulldog Initiative member, you need to go ahead and go to State 1878. But if you're a State Excellence member, I don't know if they want you to switch. I don't know that one yet. I'm hopeful to find out. I've reached out to State. I'd like to get Zach Selman on this show and on the podcast. We can get a little more in-depth and get some questions from someone who's not connected to this. But we'll see if that is able to happen. But long story short, what they're really going to be able to do, what makes it valuable to you, the consumer, I should say, is if you're a person that enjoys features on players, on coaches, they're going to have a lot of that. They're going to have a lot of exclusivity with that. Not to say that Jeff Lebby and Chris Jans and Brian O'Connor won't continue to appear on this show and on other platforms, but they will have more content there. But also, they're going to be the ones, they're going to be a little bit more of in-house of breaking of news. So when we're talking about finding out who's visiting State on weekends, they'll have that before anybody else. If there are coaching changes, they'll have that before anybody else. Things like that. So there is some value to it for you as a consumer, but the most value is if you are a Mississippi State fan and you want to help Mississippi State's NIL situation, you will be a member of this site.
You know me, and I say this all the time, more access to the players is a good thing.
It is.
And as I understand it, if you are a season ticket holder, you don't have to pay extra for access to this platform.
I believe that if you are a season ticket holder, I think in any sport, football, basketball, baseball, whatever, you will automatically be given a membership to this site. And so part of your season ticket package pays for your membership.
I like that a lot because if you're invested, you shouldn't have to invest more just to hear from your players. I like that. At the risk of offending, and I don't mean to, why don't you, the voice that reaches the most Mississippi State fans, period, with your podcast and its reach and this radio show and its reach, nobody talks to more Mississippi State fans than you. And that includes the coaches, man. Seriously. Because when they do press conference, go look at the views on the videos. 1,000, couple thousand.
Yeah.
We talk to a lot more than that every day.
Right.
Why don't you know? Why don't you know those questions that you asked? How is that not very clear about Initiative, Excellence Fund, and this thing?
I will give them that it's day one. All right. They probably should have. I think they should have been.
That should have been part of the launch.
I agree with that. But it is day one. My guess is they're going to continue to inform. And Robbie is involved, and I know him well enough to know that he will do everything to get the right messaging out there. So I will see him in the press box tonight. I'm going to hit him with a steel chair. The corporate champ, the Rob. And, yeah.
Somebody says, I thought it was only football for free membership. That's still a very large number.
I think it may be, but I don't know that for a fact. I don't know. Again, I don't know.
And that's the kind of thing
But, I mean, if that's the case, you're talking about somewhere between 30 and 35,000 memberships. The average pay website, 24/7 or On3, doesn't have anywhere near that number of subscribers.
Yeah, so that's a really good thing. It's
a good thing. And like I said, this is how Mississippi State is going to work within the confines of the NIL world right now to get money to players. And in doing so, they can get you, the fan, a little more content than you had before. So that I think in the end of the day, it all works out for everybody.
Mm-hmm. You actually get to learn about your transfer players. Like, hey, what do they sound like when they talk?
If you've looked at the first day's worth of content, most of it has been around the new faces.
Good. Sports Talk Mississippi just getting started with you on this Thursday. We'll be back.
In the Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
One of our favorite videos here on the C Spire text line.
Yeah, buddy.
Somebody out there in the field. I hope that John Deere tractor came from our friends at Ag Up, but regardless of that, we appreciate you listening in as you're getting the work done out there in the field. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. I am Brian Hadad. He's Michael Borkey. What do you want? What are we talking about? You didn't send me the rundown again.
That spaceship.
Oh, yeah.
The Artemis 2 is sending pictures back.
Yeah.
Earth looks flat to me, man.
Pretty flat.
It's flat. Now, it's a two-dimensional image, but...
Well, you know.
I got a TM yesterday. After the show, the guy was like, y'all keep talking about the spaceship. Who cares about sports? I was like, well, sports is in the name, so we got to kind of do sports, but...
Somebody said that my Gru impression reminded them of Andre the Giant, so I got to be careful, you know. The Earth is flat.
So we already know that Tiger Woods not going to participate in the Masters. Phil Mickelson, who has not made appearances on LIV this year due to a undisclosed family matter, announced today that as a result of whatever that undisclosed family matter is, he will also be skipping the Masters. And, of course, the first thing is you hope whatever it is. I think in his statement, he called it a family health matter. So that's always scary to hear because he's been out for a while. Like, he has not been around for a long time. And so you just, obviously, you hope everything is okay there. Here's the statement. Unfortunately, I will not play in the Masters next week and will be out for an extended period of time as my family continues to navigate a personal health matter. I have great respect for Augusta National, all that stuff.
Yeah.
His wife in the past did have cancer. You hope that has not returned. Those kind of things is what you think about. Here's what's crazy, though. This will be the first Masters without Tiger Woods or Phil Mickelson since 1994.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
32 years.
I don't know if you have it pulled up, or maybe you just know, but I think I'm right. Freddie Couples win that one?
The 1994 Masters? I have no idea. Here we go.
I think I'm right.
Hey, Dad, if you get that right.
Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Come on.
No, Jose Maria Olazabal.
94. I bet it's the 95 one.
The Spaniard won that year in 1994. Let's see 95.
No, he won 92. So, no.
Okay. But yeah, first time without one of the two of them in 32 years without one of the two of them. And what's even more sobering about that is, quite frankly, the tournament without both of them is not missing a contender.
Ben Crenshaw won in 95.
Okay. But it's not missing a contender. Neither one of them would have actually competed to win this thing. It's not like Scotty withdrew or Rory withdrew or Bryson withdrew or John Rahm. No, it's these two guys, unfortunately, are not at the top of the sport anymore. So to me, that's even crazier than them just not being there this year, is the fact that the tournament's missing nothing without either one of them. Now, I guess, especially with Tiger, maybe more eyeballs would have watched just to see him exist. But in terms of like competition, the tournament's not missing anything. That's even more sobering than them not being there at all, is the fact that they didn't lose competitors in this thing. Getting old sucks, man.
Well, I mean, yeah, just, I'm sure our dads at one point, like there was the first Masters where Arnold and Jack weren't there. And, you go from there. And, yeah, this is how sports works,
Yeah.
We lose, if you're an NFL fan, we lose Peyton, and then we lose, Breeze, and then we lose Brady. And then the next generation, and we're 10, 12 years away, we'll lose Mahomes and Allen and Burrow. And
when Mahomes and Allen and...
That's when you're old. I'm already old.
I will be sad the day those guys retire.
There's two things that make you feel old with sports, and that's players retiring and then players' kids being athletes. Like the Boozer twins. Like, come on, man. I saw Carlos Boozer play college basketball. I saw him play college basketball. Never mind his long pro career. Now his sons are there, I saw one today. You remember Eric Weddle, the safety? Played for the Chargers for a long time.
I think so.
He's a great safety. His son is being recruited right now. It's just, you see all this stuff, even Arch to a certain degree of that. I remember
Peyton's got a kid that's going to be like a 4-star recruit coming up.
I remember when Cooper signed with Ole Miss. I'm old enough to remember that. And now his son is a senior in or junior in college or whatever it is. Those are the two things that, for me anyway, retirements and players' sons becoming athletes, that make me feel old.
Yeah, Arch could be, if he wanted to be, in the draft right now.
He absolutely could.
He could be.
Yeah.
What's Peyton's kid's name?
Oh, I don't
He
know.
even does the head drop thing. He looks just like Peyton when he's...
Marshall.
Marshall, that's right. Marshall Manning.
Marshall Manning. That kid came out of the womb 4-star.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wait, what year is he? Does it say right away?
I already closed it. Hold on a second. Let me get back here.
He looks...
He is a...
Was it 2029?
Well, it says he's an impending high school quarterback, so I assume he's probably a ninth grader, yeah.
But watch him throw. I mean, no surprise that a Manning's kid can throw the ball around, but...
Somebody says, hey, Dad, I think you may be 4 days older than me. The day Montana and Elway and those guys retired, I felt all... Yeah, like Montana, I see Montana now, and I'm like, God, he looks old. But at the same time, I feel like, 2 minutes to go, you put Montana, as he is right now, in.
He still got something.
He gets you in field goal range.
Phillip Rivers did it.
Yeah.
They just missed the kick.
Trying to think like basketball wise, we mentioned the Boozers. I mean, even Steph Curry makes me feel old sometimes, and he's old. But like I saw Del Curry.
Yeah.
I saw his dad play. Guys like that. I mean, it's just
isn't Kobe's daughter going to be a really good player?
I think so. The first daughter, the one that died in the accident with him, was on her path to be like. There was a moment. Robbie and I talked about this a couple times. We're like, she's being recruited enough that she might visit Mississippi State.
Wow.
Like that's back when Schaefer was at his peak, and we were like, that would if the Mamba came to Starkville, I would have to find a way to run into him. But
you just get up and you walk. Yeah. Yes, what you do.
I saw Scottie Pippen at the Hump. He came to watch his son play.
I remember that. Yeah.
Pippen Jr. played for Vandy, and you just look down there and there's this 6'7" black guy, and you're like, well, I'm pretty sure that's Scottie Pippen, and it was. So, yeah, that's the thing though. Like you see that stuff and you're just like, yeah. Want to feel old. Jordan has been retired for over 20 years. Yeah.
And he still makes more money off the court than any other NBA player.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
It's insane what he does.
That's the thing. Like Jordan at this point has been retired longer than he played. Right? He would have played. His rookie year would have been 83. He retired in what? Like retired from the Wizards in what? 2000, 2001?
Something like that.
So yeah, he's been retired 25 years. I don't know the exact date, but I mean that's how that goes. Yeah.
A lot of text coming in here.
Did I miss where Peyton Manning's nickname was the Sheriff? I've never heard that before.
As the kids say, I was today years old.
I never knew Peyton Manning was referred to as the Sheriff. I have followed the NFL. Peyton Manning is my fantasy quarterback a number of times. I never once heard him called the Sheriff. So we'll learn that. Jordan's smart enough to get a driver. That's true. That's a true story.
No kidding. The body cam, Tiger body cam got released today.
I saw the.
He's going to get out of that. I mean, he'll get out of it. But him falling asleep in the back of the police car.
Yeah, it's rough.
That's rough, man. It's a tough watch.
Yeah,
for sure. Somebody says, "Is this April Fool's?" No, unfortunately, it's not April Fool's. You are that old.
I am an old man.
You all of you, us, are that old.
You're getting there.
34 is not young anymore.
Who's the athlete that's in his prime right now that in 10, 15 years when you see so-and-so junior, it's just going to wreck you? Who is it?
I mean, it would be Mahomes, right?
I guess, yeah. Like Bronny does some of that for me. Like, I remember LeBron James, the high school player.
Yeah, gosh.
Like I remember when he was in high school and everybody was like, this is the next guy.
Oh, man, when Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld's kid, if that's a boy and he starts playing football.
That's going to be the one.
Go ahead and start digging the grave for me, buddy. I'm done.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We will celebrate a anniversary when we come back. Stick with us.
From theSeabrook.com, back to Sports Talk Mississippi.
It doesn't get any better than this.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Borkey and Hadad with you. We go right now to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. If you're a Southern Miss fan, you know who this is already, and more importantly, you know how long he has been doing this. Bob Getty joins us right now, celebrating 10 years. 10 years today, right, Bob? 10 years today of the Eagle Hour on Super Talk Mississippi. That is quite the feat. Congratulations, sir.
Well, thank you. I'm old, Michael. Is that what you're saying?
So, Bob, I don't know if you were listening to us earlier. So Tiger and Phil are not participating in the Masters this year, and it's the first time that tournament has not had either one since 1994. And it evolved into a what athlete made you feel old, or athletes' kids, or something like that. Did you have one of those moments where it's like, wait a minute, hold on, that guy's kid is what?
Yeah, Reggie Collier is a friend of mine. You remember the great Reggie Collier. Reggie has grandchildren now, and Reggie told me a story a few months back that he was talking. Reggie doesn't keep any kind of memorabilia in his house, and he was telling his grandchildren, one of his grandsons, about his career, and he told him to go to YouTube and look up the perfect 10, and they were sitting there looking at it, and the grandchild was looking at it and looked up at Reggie and said, "That's not you, Papa. That guy was fat." So yeah, Reggie Collier would be one for sure. Yeah.
Bob, you mentioned Reggie Collier. You think about all the great Southern Miss athletes you've had the chance to get to know through the years and to bring onto the Eagle Hour. Who stands out above the rest?
Well, I would make an argument that Reggie Collier is the greatest football player that has ever played at Southern Miss. Now, people would argue about that. Many would say it's Ray Guy, and there would be an argument for that. But if you had the privilege of watching Reggie Collier play, I've always said Reggie was a quarterback 20 years ahead of his time. He was the Michael Vick of his time. And I believe that had Reggie played 10, 15 years later, he would have been an all-pro NFL quarterback, but we never really completely got that opportunity. So, I'd have to say Reggie Collier and another great athlete that I've gotten the privilege of talking to many times is the great Clarence Weatherspoon, who probably was the greatest basketball player in Southern Miss history. So those two guys are way, way up on the list for me.
So you give us the greatest football player in your opinion, the greatest basketball player in your opinion. Who's the greatest Southern Mississippi baseball player in your opinion?
Well, I guess that's a really hard question. Based on his professional career, I think you'd have to say Brian Dozier. People tell me that Brian Dozier was not as good a college player as he was professional player. I guess that's arguable. That's a really hard question. But I would have to believe that certainly that Brian Dozier, Matt Waldner, those type of guys are at the very top of the list, I think.
When you think about 10 years worth of podcasting, and man, I'm right there with you, and all the podcasts. It's tough to remember some of the moments, but there are some that you can never forget. Give me an Eagle Hour moment, something that your listeners bring you back to when they tell you about it. Like, I remember when you said this.
Well, Kelly Sander has been the longtime co-host of the show. A lot of those I remember what he said was Kelly Sander, because some of those are really pushing the envelope at times. But Kelly is a great figure. There've been up and down times. Jack Duggan was on the show today, and we were talking about some of the sadder times. I think that would have gone back a few years ago when the 3 football players were shot and the one kid was paralyzed, and then a couple of years ago really lost a great player to murder in Hattiesburg. So those were the down times. But I guess if I were going to tell you the highlight for me, I think would have been covering the LSU Southern Miss matchup here in the Hattiesburg Regional a few years ago when the Golden Eagles knocked off LSU on a Monday afternoon. I think it was the most exciting sporting event I've ever seen, and I would have to say that show that we did after that game certainly was a highlight, and a lot of warm hearts and a lot of really happy people on the show that day for sure.
Oh yeah, a lot of crazy moments in baseball lately. Do you think Blake Anderson is going to bring those moments back to the Rock as well? Because as we know, Southern Miss has a great history of great moments in that stadium. Is Coach Anderson going to bring those back?
I think it's going to take some time, Michael. I think they were 139 out of returning production from last year. It's just a wholesale changeover in personnel. They're actually having their first scrimmage today. Blake Anderson, I think, is the right guy for the job. He has a history of doing that at other schools that he's been to. And I think in time, yes. But I think in today's world, the question is, how much time will he be given? Because now you can seemingly turn rosters around in a year or two. And I think the question is going to be how patient will the fan base be in allowing him the time to do that. But I think given the time, he certainly has very much the opportunity to do that, yes.
Bob, we're talking about thousands of podcasts, right? We're not, this is not a small number that you've done when you're talking about 10 years of doing it. What's your favorite part of doing a podcast on Southern Mississippi sports, other than the relationships that you've gotten the chance to make?
Well, the relationships would be first, and the friendships that we've made first through the years, that would be first. But I think having an opportunity to get news and information out to Southern Miss fans on a daily basis, when you feel like that really is their source for that information, I think there's a lot of satisfaction in doing that, and I think interacting with fans is great. I'm sure you guys experience the same thing when you're at State and Ole Miss, and it's very, very gratifying when people come up to you and tell you that they listened to the show, or look, I had a guy tell me one time he introduced himself to me, and he told me he was the president of the Postal Workers Union, and he lived in Washington, and he planned his lunch hour every day where he could bring lunch and catch up on Southern Miss by listening to the Eagle Hour. Those kind of things are very gratifying and make you feel like that that you're not getting up and doing it for nothing, that people are enjoying and appreciating what you do, much like what I'm sure you experience.
Especially as media, I mean, we got somebody on the text line saying that they remember you from Greenwood. And in your career, how much media has evolved? I mean, the newspapers and what has happened there, and television coverage and all that. But audio/radio, we're still here and strong. It's crazy to watch all the changes around, but what we, and especially you, are doing there in Hattiesburg is different but unchanged.
Well, I think that's the great secret of SuperTalk Mississippi. We can provide things that no other media provides. You guys do that every day at 3:00. We do that every day at 1:00. Gerard does it every day when he comes on the air. But yeah, you're right, Michael. I mean, it's a different world. I remember. I'm old enough to remember that Sunday mornings were exciting in the fall because you would get up and go get the Clarion Ledger out of the driveway and read about the three big schools. Every school, had a 2-page spread, and then you would always go read Rick. So I'd read about Southern Miss, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and then I'd go read Rick Cleveland's article, his column every Sunday. That's clearly one of the big changes. And of course, when I started in the broadcast business, there really was no such thing as podcasts. So podcasts are very unique because they give you an opportunity to reach listeners that otherwise you would never be able to reach on terrestrial radio. So I would say the creation of podcasting, the internet, and the demise of the newspaper would be the biggest changes that I've seen.
Just a couple minutes left, Bob. You mentioned the listener from Washington. What's the most remote, the most exotic listener you've ever come across? I've had somebody from Japan tell me they were a Thunder and Lightning listener. What about you?
I'm going to cheat just a little bit. When he used to travel, Luke Johnson would listen to us in India, and it would be like 4 o'clock. But Luke is a loyal listener, so he'd be up listening to the Eagle Hour or participating on the Eagle Hour from India. So I guess that would be our farthest away. Yeah,
that's a good one though. Yeah, with Luke, do we have to call him Dr. Luke now? I refuse to do that. I Father Luke. I don't know what's going on down there. So
Father Luke. I'll have to call him that.
Pass him that along for me. Tell him. I don't know. That's what I call all the people in the church. So that's what we'll just give him that name. Bob,
Father Luke.
10 years of the Eagle Hour, absolutely something to be celebrated. And, man, you've reached a lot of great Southern Mississippi fans. You've had a lot of great moments that you've gotten a chance to cover. And, man, we're proud of you and proud to have you here at Super Talk. No doubt about that.
Thank you for having me on your show, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Of course, Bob. Thank you. Congratulations, sir.
Bob Getty from the Super Talk Eagle Hour. 10 years of that podcast, reaching out to Southern Miss fans from one end of the world to the other. Let me fix my camera now here, Borkey. I got to get back in.
A little zoomed out. That's perfect. Leave it right there. Leave it right there.
Can I get the camera any closer to my?
No, that's 10x right there.
Get it with the nose hairs and all that. Yeah, let's pull that out a little bit there. Good stuff. Yeah, I remember. Was Luke in India at the same time when that tiger hunt was going on? I remember him telling us about it. He
sent me a picture of the tiger.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Back to we need to talk some baseball here. We'll
do that when we come back,
starting around the state of Mississippi tonight, and of course for Ole Miss there in Florida. Where is Old Dominion? I don't know where that is.
It's in Virginia.
That's where Southern Miss is tonight. So Plenty to talk about when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi on a baseball Thursday.
In the Venable
If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi.
You like this show, huh?
Yeah! Super Talk Mississippi.
Somebody sticking with the theme of yesterday and today combined. July 1969, the first fake moon landing. He says, I believe we did it, by the way. He said, as I watched it live, this latest moon mission makes me feel old. It's like Steph's grandchild playing in the NBA. Yeah, having seen both of those probably would hit you like a ton of bricks there. Yeah. I hear you. We'll see what will hit tonight in Starkville. You've got a top 5 matchup, Georgia coming in. And buddy, they hit just it's a really, really good offense. So is Mississippi State's, obviously, but this is the best offense that State has seen this season, I think.
Yeah.
And they are most certainly the most explosive, quote-unquote explosive. Yeah. 87 home runs for this Georgia offense. That is 40 more than Mississippi State. Now, State hits for better average.
Mm-hmm. They got a lot more doubles.
73 doubles to Georgia's 54. Georgia walks 15 more. I mean, it's 176 to 161. Mississippi State steals a lot more bases, and they attempt to steal a lot more bases. So offensive makeup a little bit different. But Georgia as a team hitting 326. They get on base at a 456 clip, and again, 87 home runs. Charlie Foster got his hands full tonight. Now, he's capable, but he does have his hands full tonight. This is an explosive and talented Georgia offense.
So, Georgia first in home runs. State has already played Vanderbilt, who's second, and Ole Miss, who's fourth in home runs. State held Vandy to 3 home runs total, and those came in the Sunday game, where the game was kind of already out of hand. And I'm almost positive Justin Parker's message to Duke Stone was, just throw the ball over the plate. All right, let's just get out of here. We're going to keep scoring all day. Then Ole Miss had 2 home runs on Friday, and then that was it. So State's been able to neutralize 2 pretty good long ball offenses thus far. So I'll be interested to see what the pitching game plan is. When you break this down, Borkey, Georgia hits 3 home runs a game is how you need to look at this.
That is absolutely nuts.
They have 87 home runs in 30 games, so they're just a smidge shy of exactly 3.0 per game. That's a pretty crazy number. Also, another thing for Georgia is they are the number 1 defense in the conference, fielding 986. They only have 15 errors through 30 games, so an error every other game, basically, for the Georgia Bulldogs. So this is a really good team. Where State has the advantages on the mound, and State is currently 3rd in the conference in ERA. Georgia is 10th. In batting average against, State is 1st, and Georgia is, I believe, also, again, 10th. So State, with Foster going tonight, he's got to replicate what he did last week against Ole Miss. If he can do that, State will be just fine. You're going to be good on Saturday, or I guess I should say Friday, with Valinkas. Duke Stone has been kind of a grab bag, but State's offense has been good enough to pick him up this year, and I wouldn't imagine it would be any different. TBA for Georgia on their game 3. I'm sorry, for the Saturday game. So. I got to think, I said this a couple weeks ago with State and Vanderbilt because of Vandy's offensive numbers. I was like, I think there'll be a lot of runs this weekend. And then there really weren't. State scored some runs, but the Sunday game was the only big offensive day. This is another one. I'm going to go on a limb and say I think there'll be a lot of runs this weekend. But State's pitching has been, for State, coming into the season, I thought that pitching was going to be my question mark, right? McPherson's first time as a Friday night guy, and Valinkas would have translated into the SEC, and who were going to be the guys in the bullpen. They've been really good, better than, I know they blew the game against UCLA, although you can put that on an umpire if you really truly want to. They gave away the game against Southern Mississippi for sure. But by and large, State's bullpen has been really, really good. Nothing to consider tonight and this weekend. State undefeated at home this year and has not lost a game at Duty Noble Field. So I think that will come to an end at some point this weekend. I think State takes 2 out of 3. But if they do that and they're sitting at 9-3 going into week 5 of the conference play, they're in a fantastic spot.
Yeah, Foster v. Is it Volchko?
I believe
that's how
that's
you say
correct.
his last name. He's 5-0 on the season, a 3.93 ERA, 39 Ks, 18 walks. Valinkis is 6-0 on the season, a .91 earned run average. He is just off to a special start. 56 walks to 56 strikeouts to just 11 walks for the Bulldog ace. I know that McPherson's technically the ace, but Valinkis is the ace of the staff, right? I mean, he's the best starter.
Yeah.
Going against, is it Vigwe? Dylan
Vigwe, yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Who's 3-1 with a 3.03 ERA, 36 Ks to 15 walks, and as Hadad mentioned, Stone v. TBA for Georgia coming up tonight. We got to throw it to a break. We'll come back. We'll keep talking baseball. We'll keep talking about this series a little bit more. Ole Miss has a lineup out. State's lineup going to come out probably, an hour before first pitch is what they usually do.
Pitch, yeah.
So we'll look at those. I've got a few more things to get to. By the way, Kendall cannot join us today. An unexpected doctor visit for one of his kids. So we'll catch up with him next week. But he just informed me of that and issued his apologies to all of you.
He wanted us to make fun.
I know.
Of Aaron.
But we'll be back. We'll keep talking baseball after the news.
What we're gonna do right here is go back.
And now back to the sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
So let's get rolling
On Super Talk Mississippi.
If I ever see Billy Ocean Jr. making music, I'll feel old. I don't know what kind of music Billy Ocean Jr. would make. I wondered for a long time if Frank Ocean was Billy Ocean's kid. It's not.
That would make sense.
It would make sense. They have the same last name. That's how it goes. Sports Talk Mississippi here with you on a Thursday afternoon. Borkey and I visited our friends at Ag Up the other day, and they were talking about the spring tractor sales event. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, Borkey gave them a great idea. He was like, why don't you call it the spring tractor blowout? Because he was looking ahead to Mississippi State's series against Ole Miss, and he was like, there's going to be one of those.
Oh.
I got to get my pleasure in where I can, my friend. I got to do that. Anyway.
The grass on the field was pristine.
Pristine.
And
my
if you want
guess
the grass in your field.
Yeah, my guess is they had some John Deere equipment out there, and you should too. Right now, you can get a John Deere 3025E with a loader for $365 a month. 0% financing for 84 months. I want you to put that in perspective. 84 months from now is 2033. 0% financing until 2033. That's a real year, by the way. It's going to happen, assuming the sun doesn't explode and take us all out. But if it does, at least you know your yard looks great because you had a John Deere tractor from Ag Up. 15 locations around the state of Mississippi, or you can check them out online at agup.com. These prices and these tractors will not last long. Visit Ag Up today, your down-home dealer. What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi? Well, I tell you, but somebody, and I'm not going to say any names, I'm not going to say who, didn't send me a rundown. I don't know what's up. What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi, Michael Borkey?
I mean, you know what's up.
I mean, I don't.
You know
I don't
what's
know
up.
I don't know what's up. They got baseball talk, I guess.
Yeah, Greg Byrne talking about how the SEC championship needs to go away because it is dated. If we have time, we'll get to some Week 1 lines that just got released as well. And got some sports media news to get to, again, if we have time. And also some stadium concessions news that I hate. That needs to end.
I love stadium concession news, but apparently it's bad.
It's bad.
Just real quick, by the way, it is official now. We talked about it earlier this week, but the Pirates have made it official. Connor Griffin is coming up. He'll be at PNC Park on Friday for his Major League Baseball debut. First teenager position player to debut since Juan Soto.
How about that?
It's worked out pretty good for Soto. I imagine it's going to work out about the same for Connor Griffin.
I have a bone to pick with the SEC Network.
Okay.
You do not have to schedule your TV games at the very beginning of the season like you do. You don't have to. And I don't know why they do that. Just send Tom Hart somewhere else and schedule his flight 2 weeks in advance instead of 3 months in advance, and you'll be fine. It's $1 billion television deal. I think, 2 weeks, 2 months, not much of a difference there. You do it with every other sport. You can do it with baseball too. On the SEC Network tonight, the game is Texas and South Carolina instead of the top 5 matchup in the biggest stadium in the sport. Oh, guess what tomorrow's college baseball game is?
It's
Texas, South Carolina again.
Let's say it's not Mississippi State, Georgia.
Nope. And then you have LSU, Tennessee later. But that's what you're doing this weekend. Instead of using a flex schedule, that's what you're doing. You don't even have to use a
flex schedule. You have enough announcers that you can make this happen, right? But here's the other question about that.
You're also getting Ole Miss, Florida on Saturday night, by the way.
That's fine. That's fine. But with Texas, South Carolina, who thought South Carolina was going to be any good? Who was looking at that schedule and going, that's going to be a key game, key series? Carolina, Pulmonary, year 2, they're going to be off and running by that point. Could be in the top 10. Who thought that?
I don't know.
This is, that is one of those things. And look, somebody makes a point, who cares? You can watch it wherever. I get that. There are old people who don't do the app thing. My mom is among them.
Well, you want the sport to grow.
This is a ratings thing. The ratings would be better. And I guess maybe they're going to say, well, Texas is a bigger. I don't know if Texas is a bigger.
Not in baseball.
Georgia. Texas has more fans than just about anybody, but that's fine. But this is a top 5 series. Can you imagine the idea of in football, number 4, number 5 are going to play each other? It wouldn't be on SEC Network Plus, but it's going to be on ESPNU. Our primetime game is going to be an unranked team hosting a highly ranked team. It would never happen.
No,
it wouldn't happen in basketball either.
And this is why ESPN gets in its own way. They do it with college football too, mind you. They don't cover college football well enough at all, and they spend billions of dollars on college football, and yet they'll dedicate 30 minutes where Stephen A. Smith talks about God knows what on First Take with whatever poor soul they put up there to try to talk about college football for a little bit. You own these properties. You own them. It takes 5 seconds. Is it Molly McGrath? Did she leave First Take? I don't even know who hosts it anymore. But it takes 5 seconds.
When I tell you that I have never sat down and willingly watched an episode of First Take in the show's existence, to quote the Joker, I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah. But all you have to do, hey, coming up tonight on the SEC Network, number 5 at number 3 in front of the biggest stadium in college baseball. Check it out tonight on the SEC Network. That's all you got to do. Boom. That's all. It takes up no content time. And trust me, Stephen A. can threaten Josh Hart after you do a promo for a game that you own, because that's something that happened this week.
Yeah.
The most highest paid sports media member on a daily show just decides he wants to yell at Josh Hart for some reason. I don't know why, but you can do all that stuff and also promote your own property and then grow the sport that you pay for. But they choose not to do that. It makes no sense at all. College baseball has such growth potential, and they get in their own way about it. That's why when you say who cares, do you want baseball to be viable? Do you want it to grow? Do you want people to... Because right now, baseball at Ole Miss and State make a little bit of money on it, but not much. It essentially just kind of pays for itself, is what it does.
Right.
Do you want to make money on it? That's how you do, but they refuse to do the things that are required to help it grow. They don't promote it at all.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's something to add to the Connor Griffin discourse.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Just signed a new deal. 9 years, $140 million.
Yeah, that was definitely going to be part of the call-up.
Yeah, if you're getting that kind of money, it's time to come off the bus. We're not sending you to Altoona anymore.
That's incredible.
That, if I'm reading this correctly, let me
Hope he doesn't spend it all on some fancy record player.
Yeah. Shatters the record for the largest contract before making your major league debut. I can believe that. Fancy record.
You ever seen Mr. Deeds?
Yes.
Great movie.
That's funny. Oh, that's awesome though. 9 years, $140 million. At 18 or 19. Goodness gracious, set for life.
It's unbelievable.
And I mean, there's a realistic path for him to make. I mean, so he's 9 years. That's 100. That's 27, right? Mm-hmm. There's a chance for another deal in there. At 27, you're in your absolute prime. You could stack another $200 million on top of that.
Jeez, that's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah.
So he says, did you see where Pat McAfee was told heck no when asked to host a show at the Masters? And like I don't dislike Pat McAfee. I think that his commentary
he has
about
a niche.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm not it.
But the arrogance to talk about, we wanted to do our show from the Masters. They told us no. We would what we do could spice up the coverage. They don't need you.
Yeah.
And they sure aren't going to let you with the tank top get on some set yelling and carrying on for hours on the grounds. They're not going to let you do that. It's one of the few places that doesn't need it. They don't need you. Of course they're going to tell you no, but the arrogance of, well, Augusta won't let us go on there. Yeah, no crap, man. Do you know how many hoops College Game Day had to jump through to do the COVID broadcast from not anywhere close to the course, by the way? They were so far away from the course, the only holes you saw were the par 3 course. Remember that when College Game Day from Augusta? Mm-hmm. They put them so far away from the actual golf. Hey, I wish I could describe to you how far away the par 3 course is and where they were set up is from the actual golf course. They wouldn't even let them get anywhere close to it. And they think you think you're going to get there? No way, man. But they missed the mark on baseball. They could have spent the day, the little bottom line, hey, check out number 5 versus number 3, record crowds, all that stuff.
You could do a College Game Day version of baseball because there's just so few places to go.
Yeah, but you could
have done something. Something could have been done.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back.
From the Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
Communication system is a go. Go!
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Exactly.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi.
From the artist who brought you our national anthem.
That's exactly right. One of the best, speaking of ESPN, the Sports Center moments, the laughing at the national anthem.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Francis Scott Off-Key.
Oh, gosh. That's rough.
Coming up with that on the fly is pretty good, man.
Pretty good.
Those were the days. Somebody says, I just don't know how anyone can think that anyone coming right out of high school is going to be able to manage making millions of dollars for their awesome athletic ability. I just don't see it. I understand where you're coming from, but...
As I said on the text line there, that's why you hire lawyers, you hire accountants, you hire financial advisors. Also, if we're talking specifically about Connor Griffin, I've spoken to his dad a couple of times. Smart, sharp guy.
They're going to be fine. They've
got a good family set up there. This isn't, he's not out there by himself. He's got a family he can lean on there. So I not worried about seeing Connor Griffin 25 years from now on some version of ESPN's Broke. Not worried about that in the least.
That is the price of freedom, though, isn't it? Is the opportunity to screw it up for yourself.
Exactly. That's what makes America great.
Is you have the opportunity to capitalize off of your athletic ability in ways that you can't in other countries, and you also have the opportunities to completely blow it. Yeah. I don't think he will.
I'm not too terribly worried about it. The talent is there, and I think the head's on the shoulders.
601-879-4395, the C-Spire text line.
Says Griffin's not a dumb guy at all. He's married already. Well, those contradict themselves. That's contradictory statements.
I knew that was coming.
What are we talking about here?
Ole Miss in Gainesville this weekend. That game will actually start here in about an hour. Game one. Taylor Rabe against the righty Liam Peterson, who is just absolutely electric. Ole Miss has released their lineup already, and they're going to start with Utermark again. He's going to lead off. Becerra Furness, and then Reuter, Decker, Randall, Golden going to get the start in left. Foley and Federico. Federico's going back to the bottom of the lineup. I mean, really what this series comes down to, you got to come back with at least one. You've got to find a way to come back with at least one. And you have, I mean, wash, rinse, repeat. The team has consistent issues. It's the same stuff that plagues them. They strike out too much. They don't move runners. They don't execute with runners in scoring position. Offensive approach is absolutely abysmal. I do think you have the opportunity. I mean, this offense is not what you faced last weekend. You have the opportunity to be in some of these games this weekend. And can you defend well? And more importantly, when you load the bases 4 times in a game, can you at least get one run in? That bottom of the lineup, though, if you look at their numbers and everything, and I say bottom of the lineup, I mean, it's really 4 through 9 that have just been horrendous. And can you get some production out of them this weekend? Well, we'll see. But you got to come back with one, or else you're talking about things really getting off the rails.
Well, we say it all the time, right? Just don't get swept. Don't get swept. You know, gosh, getting swept at home is almost a death knell. I mean, it is really, really tough to come back from. So Ole Miss has got to start stacking wins at some point. Now, Florida's been one of the most inconsistent teams, right? They've swept South Carolina to start things off. They get swept by Alabama. Then they sweep Arkansas. So good news, Rebel fans. If that holds,
snip, snap. You're going to
sweep
be in
a really good
weekend.
mood on Monday. I don't know what's going to happen, but you're right. Ole Miss has to get a win. Absolutely cannot get swept 2 weekends in a row. That's just not acceptable. But can they find a way to get that second win and win this series? It's doable. This is not an unbeatable Florida team, so we'll have to wait and see.
We will have to wait and see. Again, 5:30 first pitch in Gainesville. Well, first pitch here, 6:30 first pitch in Gainesville, but 5:30 for us.
Darn you, Eastern time.
The worst time zone. Somebody says, how bad do you have to be to get swept at home? I mean, State's really good. State's really good. Ole Miss is not a bad team. Quote-unquote bad.
They played bad last weekend.
They did play poorly last weekend. I felt like in Game 3 that they gave up. Mm-hmm. That looked like so the last few innings of that game in Game 3 looked like a bunch of guys that didn't care about being there anymore. Hopefully that changes, because that's what it looked like anyway. They're not. If they played in another league, they wouldn't be bad. They play in the SEC, and they're playing the best teams in the country. And when 4 through 9 in your lineup is as unproductive as 4 through 9 in the lineup is here, I mean, I'll just, it's an elementary thing to just look at batting average, but here is 4 through 9 in the lineup. Reuter's hitting 300, so he's batting fourth. He's hitting 300 right now. Dom Decker, 234. Randall. Sorry, I got to go back and forth, but I will get there, I promise. Why can't I find him? There he is, 233. Golden, getting the start today, is not started much this season, 273. But again, has not played all that much. Foley, 208. Federico, 222. That's 4 through 9 in your lineup right now.
That's very tough.
And the strikeout numbers are even worse. They have 290 on the season.
Not great. I mean, they had a bunch this past weekend, and so many of them in key situations. It's all of that I could forgive. It's the inability to drive home runs when you have opportunities to do so. Again, and we've mentioned it a bunch of times, but I'll say it again because it boggles my mind every time we say it. They left the bases loaded 4 times against Mississippi State on Sunday and didn't get a run. Bases loaded 4 times and could not score out of that one. Couldn't get a productive out. Couldn't get a ground ball through. Couldn't get anything. Couldn't draw a walk. Nothing. That is almost impossible to do. And Ole Miss found a way to do it. And like I said, Michael, you've said so many times that this team struggles to manufacture runs. They struggle. And I believed you. It's not that I thought you were a liar.
Yeah.
But getting to watch it, I was like, this is really something. And, some of these guys, it wasn't even that the guys you're mentioning, the 4 through 9, were the problem. Like, Udemark, Becerra, and Router.
Becerra went over last weekend.
Yeah, he had 1 walk. Udemark had the home run on Friday. And
of course, it was a solo home run.
It was a solo home run. And that's it. And, they just... That was the worst part. The guys they rely on couldn't even come through for them, and then everybody else in the order is just a non-factor right this second.
Somebody says the same thing happened to them last year around the same time when Tennessee swept them after they had a chance on Friday. And they ended up recovering, obviously hosting a regional, but then losing to Murray State in the regional. But this is kind of a pivot point on the season, I think. I mean, it's still early. It's very early April, but when you look at what they've done, what has happened, I mean, they've already lost 2 series. One of them is a sweep. They're 3-6 in the SEC already. But, I mean, then it's LSU, then it's Tennessee, then look out, Murray State, Georgia, who's in the top 5, Arkansas in Fayetteville. I mean, that's what you're facing. If you cannot at least get one this weekend, I'm afraid that things will just completely derail. And if you saw kind of some rough body language and stuff like that against State, what are you going to see if you get swept again? What are you going to see if you lose the next 2 series? What are you going to see? Because that was not pretty, and it needs to be pretty.
It's got to be prettier.
Yeah, prettier. It can't be as ugly. Mm. It's like when you take a dog off the street and take it to the groomer and they shave it and stuff like that. The dog's still kind of rough, right? It's been on the streets, but at least it looks nicer. That's what this weekend needs to be. It needs to be the street dog that goes to the groomer.
Yeah.
It's got to happen now. There's no more time. I know what their RPI is, whatever. There's no more time.
Yeah, I mean, RPI is great and all, but if you lose another series like this, or if you get swept again, you're 3-9 in the SEC, and you've still got a ton of tough series left. You can't. It's going to become, the hole is going to get too big to dig out of at some point.
Ole Miss went through a slump the year they won it all. Somebody says
they were also number 1 in the nation at one point.
They were number 1 in the nation at one point, and we can't say that every year they struggle, because we heard that last year. We heard that the year before and the year before. Well, they were the last team in, and they won the national title. Yeah, that was an anomaly more than something that we can point to every year. It looks bad right now. They have at no point looked like a championship-level team. We'll be back.
From the Sebring, Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Do you ever get so excited that you just can't wait?
Yes! Sports Talk Mississippi, covering your Mississippi teams.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Don't touch that dial!
Here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borkey and Brian Hadad with you. Some of your texts on the text line. This one. Absolutely still don't understand how they got in the tournament and how they won it all. Well, the how they got in is John Cohen. Thank you, Coach Cohen, for that. On the selection committee, Ole Miss was the last team in, as John Cohen was a big player in that. How they won it all, though, that's the thing, is that team was so much better than the last team in thing.
Yeah.
They were super talented everywhere. They had a hard time figuring out their starting.
The last team in was the problem.
Yeah, that was an issue because they were too talented for that. It took them a while to figure out their starting rotation, and once they did, Dylan DeLucia came on, and then the rest is history. But that's not like a Cinderella run, and I don't know how many people actually think that was. But the last team in, last team standing thing that's cool. It's a really cool thing. But there was nothing fluky or Cinderella about it. That was a team that was that good, that didn't play that good for about a 6-week period in the season. But all the other weeks of the season, they were that good.
Right.
Let's see.
What else we got here on the C Spire text line? It's just my opinion, but I'm sure Ole Miss won that baseball national championship because Lane Kiffin was the football coach.
Yeah. Absolutely. Something like that.
Kiffin absolutely could take credit for that.
For sure.
James in Hasbro. Borky, you know what it is. You said it in the Monday in the interview without saying it. You said it. Whatever it is.
They are bad at the plate in a lot of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And defensively, they're a bad defensive baseball team,
defensive team. Yeah, and they're not so good at pitching that it makes up for that.
Mm-hmm. They're very good.
They're very good.
The Mangrum hire has been a great thing for that program.
They're not so elite at it that it erases their inability to score runs and their problems on the defensive side of the ball. No question. Hey, Dad, I missed the show Monday. With the sweep this past weekend, does it mean you won the bet against Richard Cross? So let's discuss that. There are 5 points remaining in this bet. We have the Governor's Cup, and we have 3 softball games. We are tied. So I need whoever is going to win has got to get 3 of the final 5 points. All right? So a Governor's Cup win would mean you only need 1 softball win. Whoever loses the Governor's Cup will need a sweep in softball to win. So I will say this. I put together a heck of a comeback here. I was down a lot when Ole Miss won that game in Starkville in basketball. And Richard offered me that night. He was like, hey, I'll let you out for a smaller price today. I said, no, well, we'll fight to the end.
If you win, you're going to have to get to the Radiothon super early, though.
Don't you worry about what I've got to do. I'll handle everything. I'll worry about that if I win. All right, we're not going to say anything.
And then what's he going to do if you win? Though I guess he'll have to just ensure that the
trust
punishment.
You, I guess.
That's a
problem in and of itself.
That's risky.
Let's see here.
But I will help him execute it.
Yeah. I heard y'all have almost the same conversation every year about a bad start in SEC play. Just glad it's not state this year. You're not wrong. Let's see here. Aren't Bianco and O'Connor around the same age? But look at the fire O'Connor has. Bianco hasn't had that kind of fire in 15 years. It's not fair to the Ole Miss fan base. How old is Bianco?
It's like 56.
Yeah, then they are the same age. I think O'Connor is 55.
I don't know if it's lack of fire.
He's 58. But it's not a fire thing.
So. You still got that.
Yeah. My opinion on any weather issues in Starkville this weekend. There's probably going to be some. We'll see what happens. I would imagine, was it the Vanderbilt weekend? They announced, as the games were happening, they were announcing what was going to go on. They were moving stuff around. The Lipscomb weekend was kind of the same thing. Yeah, they'll probably tell us something tonight.
What is that forecast, though?
It's supposed
Saturday looks bad.
Saturday and Sunday look bad. So my guess is if unless they feel like they can get the game in on Saturday, we might be looking at a doubleheader tomorrow. I can't wait for them to announce the doubleheaders at noon when we're supposed to talk to Lebby at 11:20.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Y'all don't want me to talk to that man.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is what it is.
I don't blame him.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of hard questions for him. It's too early for that.
Yeah. And we've gotten a few texts about, is it time to move on? Not right now. It's April. It's April 2nd. There's a lot of baseball to be played.
They were ranked in the top 25 last week.
Yeah.
They ran into a buzzsaw. If they bounce back this week, they're fine.
If they don't make the postseason, or if they have to go on the road in a regional and they get bounced and don't make any kind of noise, then a conversation will be had. Mm-hmm. I mean, if they miss altogether, I don't think there's a conversation to be had. I think it's.
Excuse me. I agree with you. Yeah. If this team misses the postseason, you just can't go on like that. Because then you're talking about you've missed the regionals. What? Since you won the national title, you would have missed regionals 3 out of 4 years.
3 out of 4 years, and the only year you didn't, Murray State knocked you out of
a regional in your home stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bitter pill to swallow.
So still, I mean, he will be given every opportunity to turn this season around and all that. So it's way too early for that. And no Brian Kelly situation happening here.
No.
He will coach every game.
I was talking about this with somebody today. It's like, also, he will not be fired. There will be I've decided to retire.
Well, he won't be retiring.
You think he'd stay in coaching?
I think so.
Oh, man, that would be so interesting.
The last time those conversations were had.
In a different uniform?
The last time those conversations were had. The rumor is, I stress hard rumor. The rumor is it was not received well.
Oh, I'm sure it's not. But at the same time, like, if I'm Ole Miss, like, look, Mike, retire. Let us build a statue of you. We're going to give you a job as, associate athletic director. You're going to make plenty of money. You'll be a legend here forever. In a couple years, all will be forgiven as far as just. But if you go somewhere else, that's I don't know.
And work as a regional scout for the Padres or something.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff he could do without having to go take another job. Especially this age, again, he's not. He's not
old.
Not that old, but at the same time, how old is Maneri?
I have no idea.
Maneri is 68, so a little different. But I don't know. Now, who knows? It could be one of those situations where he's like, okay, they let me go, and I'm going to show them, and he puts a fire under him. I don't know. I don't think if I was a fan of a college baseball team hiring a coach and they hired Mike Bianco following the last 3-4 years, in the scenario we're talking about.
We're talking about.
Like obviously if he gets them back up and running and hosts a regional, it would be a great hire. But I would not be overly excited about that.
Yeah. And again, it's plenty of baseball left. But you guys did text in about it, so I don't like ignoring what the audience wants to hear. Mm-hmm. So, but ain't nothing happening today. And it's April 2nd. I mean, Florida's beatable. They get 2 this weekend, and you're talking about, okay, what do they need to do to get back in the hosting conversation?
You're right back in the discussion, yeah.
So, things got to happen first.
Yeah, they just got to figure out their way. At the end of the day, they should figure it out. I mean, they got a tough schedule. There's no question about that, right? But they are more talented than the way they're playing right now. And so, it's on Bianco and his staff to unlock that. Like, it'd be one thing if I thought this team was just bad, like in terms of personnel. I don't think that. I think they just played really poorly last weekend. And State had a lot to do with that as well, right? I think the Friday night game was a gut punch loss. It's tough to come back from that. You run into Saturday into a guy who may be the best pitcher in the conference. And then Sunday, the game got away from you pretty early. And you weren't able to come back into it. I mean, you had opportunities. Ole Miss absolutely had opportunities to come back in that game and could not do it.
But, I mean, they had an opportunity to win Friday and couldn't get 3 outs.
Yeah.
So.
Could Bianco end up back at LSU if Jay leaves? Maybe let me just tell you that LSU has the potential to do the funniest thing ever.
Oh, buddy, they are melting down there, though, because now the rev share numbers are coming out and baseball's getting nothing.
So I saw that, and Wilson Alexander is not making things up. He was obviously told this by someone, but that someone who told him was not enough in the know. There's no way. Either that or LSU has got money set aside from boosters.
Well, yeah, they're getting NIL money, but from a rev share perspective, there's only so much to go around.
That's fine. I'm just saying, like, they're not worried about their money.
And then you have to give women's basketball some to avoid Title IX situations.
I feel like State has gone the other way with that. They're like, we're going to give money to baseball, and we'll figure out women's basketball. If LSU's trying to figure out baseball, I don't think that's the case.
Are you sure? Because
it just feels like
they're losing it down there right now about Jay Johnson.
That program is so ingrained into the culture of LSU. I can't imagine that.
It's only so much money. And
I get that.
Reportedly, Will Wade's
going
to have a blank check to build his basketball roster. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Bianco at LSU would make me laugh really hard. Let's go ahead and let you know.
Kind of almost happened.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
We'll be back.
From the Venable.
I listen to it at work.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Did you get that memo?
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Hey, Dad, did you see the space shuttle, the Artemis, had their toilet stopped working? Like the electrical part of it, not, it didn't function.
Right.
And they need to troubleshoot it from the ground.
Yes.
It took over 2 hours for them to get it back working. But here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if the troubleshooting doesn't work from the ground and you're 41,000 miles away or whatever?
You just got to hold it.
For 10 days? What is the protocol in that situation?
Probably
I want to know.
Bag.
Oh.
You just got to figure it out and, like, eject it into space. I mean, what other option is there at that point?
I guess none.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I saw that. I was laughing. I was like, what happens to the truck? I have stuff in my home that they troubleshoot from.
Yeah, from
like C-Spire troubleshooted my internet once remotely, and it didn't work, so they had to come out and get it. It was fiber internet. They're down the road. What if the troubleshooting never works?
Yeah.
Oh, man. We talked a little bit sports media news earlier. Marty Smith has gotten a long-term extension with ESPN. He will be at Augusta National next week as part of not calling on the course. He'll be doing interviews and stuff like that.
Part of the feel-good stuff.
I like Marty Smith a lot. I think that ESPN put him in a really bad situation around the Egg Bowl. That was just stupid. That was not his fault.
Yeah. And then
having to camp out at Oxford.
Kiffin watch was unbelievable drama. Like, we're supposed to talk to him, and never did.
Never did. I like him a lot. We got to get out of the super duper tight suits and tennis shoes thing that he's got going on. Especially if you're going to be at Augusta next week, Marty.
He's got a look. That's his look.
That can't be your look at Augusta, buddy.
I don't think he'll wear a suit at Augusta. Like, nobody on the course is wearing a suit.
Well, when you're doing media stuff, that's fine.
Yeah.
But take off the Nikes, buddy. Put on something classy. And also, your suit can go up a couple of sizes, more than one size. Your suit can go up. Part of me wonders if his head's going to explode one day because his suit is just squeezing his body and there's nowhere else for it to go. Like, his feet probably swell up like crazy when he's wearing his suits because they're so tight. The blood's got to go somewhere.
I don't know.
I can't believe his legs don't fall asleep in that thing. You know, your legs fall asleep and then you move and all the.
Yes, I know how that process works. I'm not a tight suit wearer myself.
All the pricklies? Yeah, I think that happens to him.
Very comfortable genteel polo right this second, but
Somebody says, quit being a boomer, let the man cook. No, I'm going to be a boomer on this one.
I mean, I'm just he's not going to be wearing a suit this week. You can't do that at Augusta. That would be a terrible look, and you can't walk around a golf course in a suit.
Did you see Jason Day's? I tweeted it, Hadad, if you want to look at it. So Jason Day, sponsored by a pretty quote-unquote controversial golf company called, is it Malbon? And they make the most ridiculous-looking clothes, or horrible.
You tweeted it?
Yeah, so scroll down a little bit. I did the right to jail right away gif.
Well, we're doing hold on. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh.
Look at Wednesday. He's wearing a fishing vest.
Yeah, that's rough.
And then one of his shirts just has gigantic birds on it. And not like a silhouette. No, there's just like a 3D printed cardinal, and there's a wren, and there's a blue jay, and they're like the size of the actual birds spaced out on this shirt. And then he's got a vest that has that pattern on it for later, and then a hat that has a pattern on it for later. It's not even a pattern. It's huge images of these birds. They shouldn't let him on the grounds wearing that crap.
That's rough.
That's horrible. I am a boomer on this one. I agree with you, man, on the text line. I'd go full boomer when it comes to golf. COVID has ruined golf. The stuff that people are wearing these days was horrendous. Saw a shirt that was advertised like in my Instagram ads, where it's a golf shirt that is meant to look like the Masters green jacket.
Oh, no.
It's hideous.
I can't work.
I bet it sells out. People are going to buy that. What is wrong with us?
I would not be one of them. Keep it clean, classic. That's how I roll.
Kalen DeBoer had some stuff to say yesterday. His athletic director, Greg Byrne, had a quote today. Simply put, he wants the SEC. He thinks the SEC championship has run its course. Thinks it should be done. We'll give you the quotes and then get your reaction to that next. Do you want to see the SEC championship go away when they expand the playoff? Because that's a when, not if. Should the SEC championship go away, and how should they handle that? Because Alabama's AD is on record. It's done. And I kind of agree with him. We'll get to all that after the news.
McKeithen Stadium in 2021. It's on the southwest part of the University of Florida campus. It has a 360-degree open concourse and seating. Adirondack chairs in Florida colors in orange and blue are beyond a chain link fence in center field on each side of the batter's eye, which is kind of cool spot for the fans. It's called Disney Grove behind that chain link fence. If you look at the dimensions, they're 330 down the lines, 380 in the alleys, and 400 to center field, so a pretty good poke. A lot of foul ball room, too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful park, David, and I was talking with Jeff Cardozo, their radio guy, as well. He and I both played in the old ballpark, and we both agree the old ballpark carried a lot better than this one. The gaps are bigger in this one than they were at the old one. But like you said, that wind, you get it up. The ball still got a real good chance of getting out of here.
Ole Miss comes in 20-10, 3-6 in the SEC with an RPI of 12. Mike Bianco in his 26 years won 969 games, looking for 970 tonight. Rebels got a midweek non-conference win over Arkansas Little Rock, and the Florida Gators are 23-7, 6-3 in the conference, ranked as high as 14th. Their RPI is 5, and Kevin O'Sullivan is in his 19th year. He's looking for his 780th win. The Gators actually lost their midweek game to Jacksonville this week. And then you look at the two teams from an SEC standpoint and what they've done to this point. The Rebels opened with Texas, got one of the three, won the first game, took 2 or 3 from Kentucky at home, but got swept by State last week. And the Gators swept South Carolina, got swept at Alabama, then went to Arkansas and swept the Razorbacks. So it's been kind of a bounce around SEC run for Florida so far. But Florida leads the overall series, but only 58-56. Here in Gainesville, they lead at 33-17. We've played neutral 6 different places, and Ole Miss leads that 4-2. So it's a big series. You know, the Gators series victories in 8 of the last 9 SEC series, including 4 in a row here at home dating back to last season. So they're hard to beat here.
Yeah, they're good, David, and obviously they're uber talented like they typically are under Kevin O'Sullivan. You know, if you remember last year, they had lost 6 in a row, came to Oxford. We won game 1, game 2. Had a lead going into the 9th into game 3, and Florida ended up scoring 5 runs and winning that. And then they absolutely took off and kind of righted the ship. But, I think there's a lot of similarities, and as the weekend goes along, we'll kind of talk about some of those numbers. But, it's you're in the SEC, right? You got to make the pitch to get off the field. You got to get the big 2-out hit. You got to play solid defense. And which team does that this weekend will come out on the better half.
They've claimed each of their last 4 home series against Ole Miss in 2011, 13, 17, and 21 when we actually played on this field. The last Rebel Series win in Gainesville came in 2009. And they had a great week to remember this past week. They went 4-0, beat 10th-ranked Florida State, and then swept Arkansas on the road. The Rebels had a reverse deal, lost at Memphis, got swept by arch rival Mississippi State. So we're trying to crank up a new and better week with a win this week. Gators took a tough loss the other night, but nonetheless, you just have to kind of move on. Last week, the program's first series sweep at Baum Walker Stadium in Arkansas ever. So it's kind of a surprise, I would think, to them. We're going to look at the pitching matchups when we come back. The Gators 1-2 starting pitching punch of right-handed pitcher Liam Peterson and right-handed pitcher Aiden King. They pitched against us last year. Have combined for 66 in the third innings, 2.85 ERA. 88 to 31 strikeout to walk ratio, and 6.6 hits allowed per 9 innings, all they're giving up. But we've got a little twist in our pitching lineup as well. We'll talk about it when we come back on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
The right field terrace isn't just a place, it's a vibe where the red and blue roar among home run showers, sending opponents into delirium and bringing the energy to Swayze Field. This Ole Miss tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Rebels, only at your Mississippi Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
Whether it is before you head to Swayze to watch our Rebs play or after the game celebrating a Rebel win, Funky's Oxford is where you want to be this baseball season. With 18 daiquiri machines, an expansive liquor selection, and Oxford's favorite pizza, Funky's is the place to bring your friends, family, and Fido. Rebels play away? We've got you taken care of with full coverage of the Road Rebs on our 15 TVs. From Oxford to Omaha, come hang out at Funky's to make the most of your baseball season.
Hitting them long and touching them all.
Yes, sir, baby! That ball is out of here!
This is Ole Miss Baseball from Learfield.
You already know that Madison Cellars is Madison's favorite place to buy wine and spirits since 1988. On Highway 51 in the Madison Station Shopping Center, Madison Cellars has a hometown feel with a big city selection. Do you have a question about which wine to serve with a certain dish? Call 601-856-0931 and let their knowledgeable staff help you find the perfect match. Find out more at madisonsellars.net or stop by today. Madison Cellars on Highway 51 in the Madison Station Shopping Center.
My doctor's office is awesome. It's where we go when I have a fever or get hurt. Mom says it's so close.
Trust Care Kids is every kid's favorite pediatric clinic. Our caring staff is here for everything from colds and ear infections to routine checkups. Plus, our clinics are kid approved, packed with interactive games your kids will love. Open late and weekends too.
There's a new kid on the block.
Trust Care Kids. Get care faster. We're not kidding.
Itza and the Ad Council.
Well, back in Gainesville, Wynn really whipping it out to left field. Coach Bianco meeting with the team in left field in a huddle, if you will. And the Gators doing some stretching and running right now as we get ready for Ole Miss in Florida Game 1. Hey, don't forget Rebel Stolen Bases in this series, presented by our friends at Wade Incorporated. It's been serving Mississippi as your John Deere dealer since 1909 with 14 locations to choose from. Be sure to visit your nearest Wade Incorporated dealership for all of your long, small, and large tractor needs when it comes time to choose. Remember, nothing runs like a deer. David Kellum, Brad Henderson with you here. Dave Pulaski in our studio. We're going to bring Dave up here in just a moment to look at the rest of the SEC. But let's check out the pitching diagnosis. St. Dom Brad Henderson's Pitching Diagnosis is brought to you by St. Dominic Hospital. Know your own vital stats with the online heart risk assessment. Visit stdom.com/healthyheart to get started. For the Florida Gators, we're going to see Liam Peterson, the right-hander. He's 1-1 with a 3.67 ERA. He's 6'5", a junior from Palm Harbor, Florida. In his career, he's making his 42nd appearance, and this will be his 39th start. 12-11 with a 4.97 ERA. He struck out 228 in his career. This year, his longest outing was 6 innings against South Carolina. Also went 4 last week against Arkansas. He's hit 98 pitches 3 times and hit 90 in each outing but one. So they've taken him pretty deep in the games. He's got 55 strikeouts and 22 walks right now. He did give up 9 hits at Alabama and 6 runs, Brad, but he bounced back last week. A 4-inning outing, 1 hit, no runs, 7 strikeouts, did walk 6 against the Arkansas Razorbacks. So Liam's kind of been on a roller coaster, but he's got good stuff.
Oh, he's an unbelievable talent, David. He's a true Friday night guy, if that's what you want to call him in this league, especially when he's on. But the stuff, mid-90s, he's been up to 100.
Wow.
With the fastball. Curveball being in the upper 70s, low 80s, so a slider in the mid to upper 80s and a changeup in the mid to upper 80s. To right-handers, he's going to be fastball slider. To the left-handers, he's going to be primarily fastball, and then he's going to mix those other 3 in as well. And with somebody that has that type of velocity, the key is you got to be able to time up the fastball, right? You're going to get your fair share of them. But like you talked about, he has shown some inconsistency with the 22 walks so far in the 34 and a third innings. So we'll have to be cognizant of that as well. As you know, is he going to be a max effort guy and try and overdo it, or is he really going to settle in and pitch? But obviously a really good right-handed arm for Kevin O'Sullivan.
Ole Miss is 2-0 against him in games that he's pitched. He is 0-1. He took a no decision in a regular season series game 1 last year that Ole Miss won. He struck out 6, walked 1, gave up 5 earned runs on 7 hits, so we got to him pretty good. Then he pitched against us in the SEC tournament as well, a game the Rebels won 3-1. He had 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, 75 pitches, and Ole Miss won the game 8-3. He had a no decision, but he struck out 12 and walked 2 in his 2 outings against Ole Miss last year. He's holding opponents to a 183 batting average against. Has not surrendered more than 1 hit through the first 4 innings of 4 of his 5 starts. We're going to get after it. Taylor Rave's going for Ole Miss, Brad. We're looking forward to seeing the Greenville, South Carolina youngster go out there. The sophomore, 6'5", first career SEC start. 15 appearances last year. He did have 2 starts, but no league starts. He was the 4th of 6 pitchers to face Florida in Game 3. Went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit and a run, 2 strikeouts, no walks, and a hit batter and a no decision. Of course, he was the South Carolina Pitcher of the Year out of high school in 2023. This year, he's made several outings, only 1 start. That was against Southern Miss, and he's got 26 strikeouts and 3 walks. He's 3-1 with wins over Nevada, Missouri State, and Texas. He's got a loss to Mississippi State last week in relief, a couple of saves against Ohio State and Kentucky, 2.61 ERA. But we're looking forward, Brad, to seeing Taylor Rave with the game on the shoulder and be the Friday night guy, if you will.
Well, you know, when they signed him, this is kind of where they kind of envision that, right? He's got that kind of stuff, and he'll certainly get that opportunity tonight against the Florida Gators. You know, their stuff is eerily similar. He and Liam Peterson tonight, Florida's right-hander. Taylor's going to be mid-90s. We've seen him up to 99 with the fastball. He's going to throw a 2-seamer as well in the mid-90s. Slider with that cutter action is his best off-speed pitch. So you'll see that primarily to right-handed hitters and in under the hands to the left-handed hitters. He's going to throw a slurve in the low 80s and a changeup. He's kind of got that downward split action. Will be in the upper 80s as well. And I think just the key for Taylor is with that first SEC
playing later at LSU. Of course, the all-time winningest coach at Ole Miss, won the national championship in 2022. He is 31-26 against the Gators, and we'll hear from him next on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
At Atmos Energy, we believe affordable, reliable, and efficient natural gas is essential to achieving a low-carbon energy future. We're committed to helping protect the environment by providing smart choice solutions to help customers reduce energy use and lower their carbon footprint. Get a rebate up to $600 off qualifying high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Ole Miss pride. When I'm carrying the Ole Miss Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Ole Miss gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra hottie toddy from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go Rebels to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
Play ball.
Swing and a miss! He struck him out!
This is Ole Miss baseball from Learfield.
Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet is Mississippi's largest General Motors business elite dealer. We make it easy to maintain your fleet with over 100 work-ready vehicles available for your job site. Diesel, gas, trucks, vans, and service bodies. And we build to your business specifications. It really is easier with Rogers Dabbs Fleet. Call the Rogers Dabbs Business Elite Fleet Team today at 866-671-4226 or visit us online at rogersdabbs.com. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet. Find new roads.
In life and in business, one thing is certain: change. That's why Pilium Corporation is ready to keep you ahead of the curve on ever-evolving technology, critical for your company's security and growth. To that end, the Pilium team offers IT support and security and forensics, plus cloud services and networking, mobile communications, body cams, in-car video systems, and real-time crime center technology. Pileum.com. Smart people, smart business, smart solutions.
The Ole Miss Dugout Show continues with the head coach of Rebel Baseball, Mike Bianco, presented by Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. Once again, here's David Callum.
And welcome back to Gainesville, Florida. The Rebels and the Gators about to get after game one. We got 3 straight nights of baseball with these Gators, Coach. We jump back into SEC on the road, a very talented team that we got to deal with, and Sully usually has one every year.
No doubt. He's done a wonderful job, here. Kevin O'Sullivan, Hall of Fame coach, and show you life in the SEC where they swept their first weekend, and then they got swept, and then they went to Arkansas last weekend. Baum Stadium, very difficult place to play, and then swept. And so, we were just talking about it just a few minutes ago. That's life in the SEC. So yeah, really good program on the other side, but excited to be out. It's another beautiful day and another opportunity.
Well, I know you and Kevin are focusing on your teams and the next thing in front of you, but for those of us watching the entire league, it's crazy. I mean, it seems like they're about the same and battling each other. Just got to play good baseball.
Well, that's it, and it just comes down to who's going to make enough pitches, who's going to get that timely hit, and the good and the bad. I say all the time is the bad news is everybody's good, and the good news is everybody beats each other, and so. But with that being said, man, you can't get caught up in what's going around the league. You learn that very quickly. This is hard enough. You just need to be where your feet are and be here in Gainesville tonight.
Talk about your pitching rotation. I know you're holding Elliott to stay on the Friday.
Yeah, and it really had more to do with Townsend pitching on last Sunday. That would leave a hole in game 2. What would we do with that? We could go Elliott tonight, but we felt better keeping him on normal rest. And the thing that really pushed us over the edge of doing that was if we pitched him tonight, Elliott, on short rest, what would we do in game 2? And so would you be in game 1 deciding who's going to start and what reliever that you leave open for that so important game 2? So we said, hey, keep him on normal rest. Rabe, we think is our best opportunity to win this game, and a guy that's been one of our best pitchers all year long.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. Peterson goes for them. I think he's been there forever, but he's an outstanding pitcher for the Gators.
No doubt, and so tonight you're going to see a lot of velocity. I'm sure there'll probably be 800 on the boards at some point, but 2 giant right-handers throwing it really hard.
Hey, we look forward to it. Wish you the best.
Thank you.
Ole Miss, Florida, coming up. We'll continue with our pregame show shortly on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
Hey, Rebel fans. For more than 50 years, Mississippi Asthma and Allergies board-certified team of allergists has treated patients by identifying triggers and creating personalized treatment plans. Now with 8 convenient locations across Mississippi, including Oxford, we're right next door when you need us. Treating infants to adults and Ole Miss students. Find our clinic nearest you at msaac.com. Mississippi Asthma and Allergy, helping Mississippi live life to the fullest and allergy-free.
Ole Miss baseball returns after a word from your local station. This is the Ole Miss Sports Network from Learfield.
Jack Hoffman here with Tico Steakhouse. My dad started the legacy in Ridgeland in 1989, and I've continued that legacy in Oxford. Whether you're craving a perfectly cooked steak, warm, friendly atmosphere, or a strong pour at the bar, we got a seat waiting for you. 2 locations, 1 legacy. Ridgeland off County Line and Oxford on the Square. The perfect place to celebrate with friends, family, or the special occasion. Come taste the tradition at Tico Steakhouse.
Hey guys, this is Schaefer Davidson and my wife Lori, owners of Davidson Marble and Granite of Canton, Vicksburg, and McGee. We also have Davidson Monument Company of Forest and Kosciuszko, as well as Central Mississippi Monument Company of Carthage and Louisville.
We offer a variety of granite, marble, and bronze headstones. We are back to pre-pandemic lead times with gray granite running approximately 2 to 3 months.
We are a third-generation family-owned business serving Mississippi since 1937. Check us out on Facebook or at DavidsonMarbleandGranite.com.
And the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Ole Miss Dugout Show. It's time now for today's starting lineups, brought to you by Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Rebels opening up the Easter weekend in Florida against the Gators. Here's their starting lineup for tonight's ball game. Judd Utermark is leading off and playing third base. Tristan Becerra bats second in right field. Will Furness, the first baseman, hits third. Colin Reuters, the DH, batting fourth. Dom Decker, the second baseman, hits fifth. Braden Randall's at shortstop, hitting sixth. Cannon Golden gets a start in left field. He's batting seventh. Austin Foley's behind the dish, hitting eighth. Hayden Federico, the center fielder, bats ninth. Taylor Rabe is on the mound for the Rebs. And the Ole Miss lineup will go up against Liam Peterson for Florida. We'll have the Gators' defensive alignment and the first pitch from Gainesville next on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
Today's starting lineups have been brought to you by Atmos Energy, your natural gas company. The first pitch is coming your way next as Ole Miss baseball continues right after these messages.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you turn your backyard into your personal movie theater.
Start movie night.
Own your day on the network for connected living. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Ole Miss baseball lives here.
Swung on, hit deep to right field, toward the wall, toward the foul pole. It is gone!
On the Ole Miss Sports Network from Learfield.
You already know that Madison Cellars is Madison's favorite place to buy wine and spirits since 1988. On Highway 51 in the Madison Station Shopping Center, Madison Cellars has a hometown feel with a big city selection. Do you have a question about which wine to serve with a certain dish? Call 601-856-0931 and let their knowledgeable staff help you find the perfect match. Find out more at madisonCellars.net or stop by today. Madison Cellars on Highway 51 in the Madison Station Shopping Center.
Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet is Mississippi's largest General Motors business elite dealer. We make it easy to maintain your fleet with over 100 work-ready vehicles available for your job site. Diesel, gas, trucks, vans, and service bodies. And we build to your business specifications. It really is easier with Rogers Dabbs Fleet. Call the Rogers Dabbs Business Elite Fleet Team today at 866-671-4226 or visit us online at rogersdabbs.com. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Council.
He's swinging a miss. He struck him out.
Hotty toddy.
You remember Omaha, baby.
This is Ole Miss baseball.
You can forget it because it's out of here. Showers in the outfield.
That was a rock job.
A towering shot to the wall. Back to back to back. That's first double play. And the Rebels are out of the air. Strike three called. He got him on a high fastball. And the Ole Miss Rebels are your national champions.
play ball. Today's play-by-play coverage of Ole Miss baseball is brought to you by C Spire, official wireless provider of Ole Miss athletics. Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. By Ford, Mississippi Ford dealers and the Ford F-150, official truck of the Ole Miss Rebels. And by Regions, official bank of the SEC. Once again, here's the voice of the Rebels, David Kellum.
Hello and welcome to Gainesville again as the Rebels about to take on the Gators. We got the first pitch coming up here in just a moment. Your home header for strike one. You know, what you want to see this weekend as opposed to last weekend is getting more people home. Clutch hits. Rebels left the bases loaded four times in the third game against Mississippi State without scoring. Here's the pitch. Just misses away for ball one. So you're hoping for some more clutchness, Brad, this weekend.
You sure are, David. Right here, you're just looking for a fly ball, something in the outfield. With the Rebels on the board. But you can tell when Liam Peterson under pressure right now, he's going to a lot of breaking balls.
1-1 to Reuter. Drop that one right in the middle. A breaking ball for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Reuter. Utermark at third, Becerra at first with 1 away. Top of the first, just underway here in Gainesville. The 1-2 missed outside, ball 2, didn't chase the breaking ball away. The deal with Liam is control some games. He just has some control issues. You just don't hit him a whole lot, though, Brad.
No, you don't. 183 batting average against, so when he does leave it out over the plate, you got to make him pay.
2-2. Fastball up and away for ball 3. Look, he tried to overthrow that 97 fastball, was going to elevate it, but he missed outside, high and away. So a full count now to Reuter. Payoff pitch. Runner at first goes. It's strike 3 called. Reuter thought it was a little bit up. He was trying to get the walk, and he strikes out looking. Too close to take. Second strikeout for Peterson. That was a pitcher's pitch there. But you do get the stolen base for Becerra. So runners at second and third, 2 down, but Decker's going to have to reach safely. And now we're going to have Coach O'Sullivan go out and talk to Liam Peterson for a moment. Going to have a little visit there. Hey, with that stolen base by Becerra, they're all brought to you by Wade Incorporated. Remember, nothing runs like a deer. He brings the entire infield in, also the catcher as well. Well, you got runners first and third, no outs, and back-to-back strikeouts. This has been kind of the story here lately, just unable to get the clutch hits. Let's see if Decker can change that. Dom is hitting .234. He has 5 home runs, hasn't had one in a while, 11 RBIs. But he has been fantastic at getting on base. He leads Ole Miss and is third in the SEC with 32 walks. He's 10th nationally, and he's reached base in 29 of the 30 games played this year. Meeting is over. Sully goes back to his dugout. Florida's housed on the first base side, Ole Miss on the third base side. First pitch to Decker. Stays up for ball 1. Off-speed pitch that's high. Usually uses a 4-pitch mix to lefties. Breaking ball, missed low and away, ball 2, 2-0. Rebels looking for a 2-out hit out of Decker to possibly take a 2-0 lead early in this one. And a pitch. That's a strike. Kind of up in the box, but comes back with a strike. He didn't throw a fastball. He came back with a breaking ball.
No, he's got first base open, David. I'm just going to pipe one.
2-1 to Decker. Same pitch. Took a perfect pitch right down the middle for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Decker's been around a while. Just exactly what you said. You expect to be looking for that breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Decker. Peterson delivers way upstairs. Good eye by Decker. That is the 3rd full count he's had. And Peterson is at 20 pitches, Brad.
25.
25, yeah, yep. 25 pitches.
That's a lot in the first inning. You got to capitalize off of it, DK.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out on what looked like a changeup, maybe. And the Rebels, after getting 2 aboard, strike out 3 straight times. Here in the first, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Bottom of the first coming up on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
Ole Miss fans, college baseball is here. So grab a cold, refreshing Dos Equis lager to watch your team hit it out of the park. Whether you're at the bar with fellow Ole Miss fans or watching with your friend who went to that other school, Dos Equis is there for it all. Hotty toddy. Stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, official corporate sponsor of the Ole Miss Rebels. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2025, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Ole Miss pride. When I'm carrying the Ole Miss Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Ole Miss gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra hottie toddy from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go Rebels to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
Go ahead to the bottom of the first inning. No score with Ole Miss and Florida. Bold futures begin at the University of Mississippi, from nationally recognized academics to research that is shaping our state's future. Ole Miss is where passion meets purpose. Ready to join the legacy? Visit olemiss.edu. Taylor Rabe warming up. He'll be the guy on the hill for Ole Miss in game 1. Third base coach for the Florida Gators is Taylor Black. The first base coach is Mike Rivera. Defensively for Ole Miss, we've got Golden in left, Federico in center, Becerra in right. Udemark at third, Randall at short, Decker at second, Furness at first base, Fawley catching, and Rabe on the hill. And leading off for the Florida Gators is Kyle Jones, the center fielder. Bats and throws right-handed. He's 6'3", redshirt sophomore from Athens, Georgia. Transfer from Stetson, former Hatter. Batting second is Brendan Lawson, the shortstop. Left-hand hitting sophomore from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, who's having a fantastic year. Hitting third is Ethan Serwick, the former Rebel, first baseman. Bats and throws right-handed, a sophomore from Gulfport, Mississippi, the transfer from Ole Miss. Batting cleanup is Carson Bowen, the catcher. Right-handed batting senior from Anaheim Hills, California, transfer from TCU. Batting fifth for the Gators will be Blake Sear, spelled C-Y-R, Sear, the right fielder. Bats and throws right-handed, a senior from Windermere, Florida, transfer from Miami. Jones at the plate, .293 hitter, 2 homers, 23 ribbies, swings at the first one and grounds it to the right side for a base hit. Got a 96 fastball and bounced it to the right side. There's a start for the Gators.
Kyle Jones wasting no time, BK. Shoots that ball through the 4-hole.
Brennan Lawson will bat. The shortstop leads him with a .372 average, also with 11 homers and 31 RBIs. The Canadian's been good for the Gators. He'll bat now with a runner at first and no outs. Continuing with the lineup, the 6-hole hitter is Cade Kurland. The second baseman's a right-handed hitting junior from Tampa, Florida. Batting seventh is Cole Stanford. He's the DH, a right-hand hitting graduate from Ellersville, Georgia. Lenore Ryan transfer. First pitch to Lawson. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. Cutter there, looks like. 0-1 to Lawson. Hitting eighth for the Gators will be Jacob Kendall. He's the left fielder. Bats left, throws right. A true freshman from St. Augustine, Florida. Oldest city in America. Batting ninth is Colt Myers. Runner goes. The throw to second is going to be late. A stolen base. It was Udemark in the shift who actually took the throw, but a steal for Jones. And so they've got a runner in scoring position with no outs. Colt Myers, the 9-hole hitter, third baseman, bats and throws right-handed.
Jones leads them in stolen bases, Dave. He's 13 of 15. They run a little bit more than we do. 35 of 44, now 36 for 45.
Pitch to Lawson. Misses away. And the count goes to 1-2. That pitch was a strike previously, so 1-ball, 2-strike count. Taylor Ray, first career SEC start. The 1-2 pitch to Lawson. Strike 3. Got him looking. Fastball on the inner edge to the left-handed hitter. Great location. 1 down.
96 with that fastball. And if he can pitch in like that, David, he'll have some success tonight. Taylor Rave with his first strikeout of the evening.
And with that strikeout, remind you all strikeouts recorded by Ole Miss pitchers are brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. New home and auto rates, same great service. Farm Bureau. Go with the home team. 1 down with a runner at second. And the batter will be the 3-hole hitter, Ethan Serwitz, the first baseman. Transferred from Ole Miss to Florida. He's having a good year. He's hitting .312. Swings at the first one. Going to dump it into shallow right center field. Charging the center fielder Federico. Rounding third and coming home to score is Jones. And Florida takes a 1-0 lead. Serwitz yells at his dugout. 5 homers, 28 RBIs for Ethan. Is second on the team, and he dumps that one in as 29th RBI of the year. Just a little Texas leaguer that worked out. And the Gators up 1-0. Now Carson Bowen, the cleanup hitting catcher, .278 average. 3 home runs and 15 RBIs. Right-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher. Taylor Rave is making his 23rd appearance since coming to Ole Miss. Only a sophomore. Only his 4th start, first SEC start. There's a fastball for a strike on the outer edge. Count 0-1 to Bowen. That was 97. Taylor's shown great control in his career. 34 strikeouts, only 5 walks. So he can get a double play ball. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase an elevated fastball for strike 2. As Bowen went after that one, came up empty. Bowen from TCU, he was named the 2025 second team All Big 12 team after hitting .333 with 4 homers, 3 triples, 11 doubles, 29 runs, 28 ribbies. Ground ball right back to this 1-0. Randall, Golden, and Foley be the hitters for the Rebels. Hey, it's always a good time for a big fly. Nicholas Air sponsors home runs all season, the exclusive private aviation partner of the Ole Miss Rebels. The next time you fly, hit it out of the park with Nicholas Air. Visit nicholasair.com. Braden Randall will go first for Ole Miss here in the second. The shortstop's a left-handed hitter from Rockwall, Texas. Here's his pitch from Peterson. Breaking ball falls in for strike 1 to Randall. .233 hitter, a home run, and 9 runs batted in. Randall in his junior year at Ole Miss. Hits it sharply down the first base line, just foul. Turned on that one, just missed the bag a little bit. 0-2 to Braden Randall. Outfield straightaway. They do have a little bit of a shift on Randall, but the shortstop not on the second base side of the bag, but up the middle. Fought that pitch off, got a 96 fastball and fouled it down. Peterson delivers. Bounced that one in front of the plate for ball 1. He kind of looked at the ground after he delivered it. He just spiked that ball. Randall had a couple of doubles and a sac fly in game 1 in the win over the Gators last year in Oxford. Had a total of 5 hits. Swing and a miss here, though. He'll strike out.
Well, after the leadoff walk and single by Tristan Becerra, William Peterson has struck out 4 in a row.
And Cannon Golden now will swing it. The left-handed hitting left fielder's hitting .273, no homers and 5 runs batted in. Cannon's hitting in the 7th slot. True freshman from Beaufort, Georgia. Takes the strike in the count 0-1 to Golden. Bats and throws left-handed. Beaufort High School. Just inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Golden. They do have a full-blown shift on him. 3 infielders on the first base side. Third baseman left over by his bag. Breaking ball inside. Kind of buckled Cannon, but it missed inside. The count is 2-1 to Golden. 1-0 Florida here in the top of the second. And the pitch. Swung on, base hit the opposite way. Nice job. He got to pitch up a little bit. He just went with it and beat the shift. And so a 1-out single for Cannon Golden.
That's a really nice piece of hitting from the freshman right there. 96. Fastball at 96. He just goes with it, David.
102 exit speed, just spanked it the opposite way. And this will bring up Austin Foley, the catcher, 8-hole hitter, hitting .208, 3 homers and 14 RBIs. He is a Floridian. Austin's from West Palm Beach. Throw to first, runner back. Went to Kentucky first and now at Ole Miss, but he's from West Palm Beach. I talked to him on the plane down here. How many people got coming? He said 25. 25! Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider away for strike one. 0-1 to Austin Foley. Foley's average down, but it's what have you done for me lately a little bit with Austin. He's hit safely in 8 straight games, and is 8 for his last 26, hitting .308 with 3 walks. Here's his pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased the breaker away again. Tried to pull it. Strike 2. He's also second on the team, having reached in 14 straight games. Last year against the Gators, Austin had a home run and 6 RBIs in the series win over Florida and Oxford. He took 2 of 3. The 0-2 to Foley. Way outside for ball 1. Like Peterson intentionally tried to run that one a little bit further out, see if he'd chase it.
I'm not sure Austin is going to get a fastball, David. Those first 2 swings.
Brought it first, 1 out.
Seems like it'd be a show me. See if he can make the adjustment.
Quick throw to first base. Golden gets back. Austin hasn't played a ton. Or rather, Cannon has not played a ton, but he can run pretty good, Cannon Golden. The 1-2. Check swing on a breaking ball in the dirt. They appeal to first, said he went around. I think there's no doubt about it. Kind of drops his shoulders thinking he did not, but looked like a pretty committed swing. That'll be the 5th strikeout for Peterson through the first 8 batters, and now he'll face the 9-hole hitter, Hayden Federico. Federico, the switch hitter, will bat left-handed against a right-handed pitcher. Hitting .222 with no homers and 7 RBIs. Federico, the sophomore from West Monroe, Louisiana.
I think if we get a chance, you got to try and run at some point during this at-bat.
Peterson throws to first. He's thinking about it as Golden gets back in there.
He's fairly slow to the plate, David. That's who you're going to steal it off of.
Liam Peterson, ready and delivers. Nice breaking ball. Came in high and fell right into the zone for strike 1 to Federico. Federico walked 4 times in game 1 against the Gators last year. The 0-1, throw to first, runner gets back. Golden steps off the lead again. A 1 to Federico. Bunts it, third base side, kind of kills it. Picked up by the third baseman. Throw to first. No, he's just going to hold it. Wow, that's kind of like a drop shot, Brad. And Myers got there, picked it up, but he had no chance. That's a bunt single. The Rebels have runners at first and second.
3 hits now off Liam Peterson. And here we are again, David. Can we get the big 2-out hit, right? Got the right guy coming up.
Judd Udemark, who's hitting in the...
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.